Hello, I'm Jody Wolf. You're watching Expoz. It is July 22, 2017, 8:05 p.m. Birmingham. Topic: what did the heavens look like during the days that Christ was born? You'll be surprised. Okay, the heavens during Jesus' first coming. What takes place in the heavens directly linked to God's plan of redemption. Each star has a meaning in the fulfillment of his divine order. It is helpful to understand that Jupiter is known as the king planet. Regulus is known as the king star. Leo represents the line of Judah, and Virgo is the Virgin, or Mary. Remember, the heavens declare the glory of God, and these representations in the heavens are not far-fetched applications, nor are they limited to Christian perspective. On September 11, 3 BC, there is a unique collaboration of events in the heavens. Jupiter, king planet, encircles Regulus, king star, 3 times, all while in the constellation Leo, line of Judah. Jupiter passes Regulus every 10 to 20 years, but the rare quality of this event is that on this occasion, it encircled it not only once, but 3 times on the Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashanah, the Feast of Trumpets. On June 17, 2 BC, exactly 40 weeks, the typical human gestation period, Jupiter is positioned over Jerusalem, in the heart of Leo, the line of Judah. On December 25, 2 BC, after moving 15 months without stop, Jupiter enters retrograde motion directly above Bethlehem. If you take this into an account, we have Jesus being conceived on September 11, 3 BC, Feast of Trumpets. 9 months later, he is born with the king planet directly above Jerusalem, while in the heart of Leo, the line of Judah. 6 months later, we have the Star of Bethlehem, or king planet, directly above the town of Bethlehem. If you're honest with yourself, you cannot conclude these are coincidences. Let me show you one thing. If you look at this, I've heard so much about it. I have it, and it's sad to say I've never watched it, but I'm going to now. So, as I was talking about, you cannot discount them. There's just no way. And where'd I leave off? Okay, it's directly above the Star of Bethlehem. The town of Bethlehem. And if you're honest with yourself, you cannot conclude these as coincidence. If you believe this is far-fetched, I implore you to download stellarium.org and check for yourself. You don't have to work for NASA. Even an elementary, being familiar a little bit with astronomy, can reveal a remarkable glimpse of his sovereign order. The humanists are using technology in an attempt to become God. We should employ the same technology to reveal the one true God, who knows the end from the beginning. And more information on that at the BethlehemStar.net. Let me tell you about the woman and the dragon. Our day, our time, right now, guys, September 23, 2017 is the date of the precise alignment detailed in Revelations 12, which occurs for the first and only time in history that takes place immediately following the Feast of Trumpets and the Jewish New Year, Tishri 1. The Jewish people are known for their rare or for the near perfect record keeping. There were extraordinary events that took place on Tishri 1 throughout Jewish history. And I'm going to mention something about the Jewish history in a moment. The Jewish calendar cannot fall on the same date as the Gregorian calendar, as our calendar, like December 25 every year, on and on and on. There's our alignment with the stars. So ours is on a 30-day net type thing. Remember, this is God's calendar, not ours. In relation to the appointed times and understanding of biblical prophecy demands of knowledge, a knowledge of God's calendar. Searching historical records for specific dates in Jewish history, and you will discover that there are 2 days has a remarkable number of significant occurrences, Tishri 1 and Nisan 15. While every other day in Jewish history has perhaps 3 to 15 notable events that were upwards of 50. All right, here are some of these events that took place Tishri 1, Rosh Hashanah, New Moon, and the Feast of Trumpets. Adam and Eve were created. Noah's birthday. Sarah conceives Isaac. Isaac blesses Jacob. Rachel conceives Joseph. Joseph released from prison. Pharaoh frees the Israelites from slavery. Hannah conceives Samuel. David is forgiven for Bathsheba's sin. And Daniel sees vision of judgment. Let me see my time. And if we apply all these events with the one-time event, which will take place in the heavens on September 23, 2017, we have to ask the basic question, could this be a coincidence? Have the Jews been arbitrarily placing historical events in their records? Is this a conspiracy by God's chosen people who rejected him as Messiah to orchestrate the coalescence, I can't quite make that out, of these events in history with the alignment in the heavens? Either these records show conspiracy or a remarkable coincidence, or God, who knows the end from the beginning, has orchestrated important events in the history of his people to reflect his appointed times. One last thing here. And the great sign appears in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars. She is pregnant, and she's crying out in birth pangs in the agony of giving birth. And another sign appeared in heaven. Behold, a red great dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns, and on his 7 heads were diadems. His tail swept down a third of the stars of heaven and cast them to earth, which are fallen angels. And the dragon stood before the woman who was about to give birth, so that when she bore her child, he might devour it. She gave birth to a male child, the body of Christ, the church, one who is to rule all the nations with a rod of iron. But her child was caught up to God into his throne, and the woman fled into the wilderness. The church was caught up, and the woman, Israel, fled into the wilderness, where she was placed, or where a place has been prepared by God for her, in which she will be nourished for 1,260 days. Guys, listen to that. It's unbelievable. We're approaching times that we cannot argue against. But we're men. What are we? But I have one more thing to say, and I know I'm running over. How many times, how many peoples did God go through before he settled with the Jews? I believe he went through many. I do. I believe it was the Jews, only the Jews, that would carry his law from him, Adam and Eve, to us today. The Bible intact. and also do the things as Abraham did. When God said, give me Isaac. And Abraham cried, but he said, I will. And Isaac even said, Father, bound me so that I won't run away. And before Abraham killed Isaac and burned him to God, offering to God, God said, don't hurt that boy. There's a ram over in the bushes. Go get him. Offer him to me. Abraham, you have proved to me that you love me and that you trust me. Guys, we're in those days now. Who do you trust? Who do you really trust? I know who I trust. Only one that said, no man can go to the Father. No man can see the Father but by me. Jesus said that. Jody with Expoz.